So there's an amazing thing about the new Worlds engine, and that's the fact that you can actually merge 3D elements with actual Graal 2D. So let me explain. So when we hop into Unity, you can see this 2D toggle and 3D toggle. Well, doesn't seem like much, but when you actually access the main camera, you can see that in 2D mode, the camera is just a square. In 3D mode, it's more of a cube or elongated rectangle in this case. Now how the camera works, everything in its sight will actually be displayed on it. So if I spawn a cube and place it in front of the camera, right now it's not there, so let me just insert it in front. As you can see, this camera does show the cube on it. We're going to take this exact same logic and apply it inside of GraalScript 2. Now the way to actually merge the 3D to 2D will be the exact same process. We're going to create our own camera, get an image, set the camera to render towards this image, and then place our 3D objects or animations or whatever Unity 3D events we want to display in front of this camera. It shows in GraalScript 2 as a 3D object or an effect or whatever in the 2D scene. Now this is the code to make it work. Don't worry, this code might sound a bit complex, may look a bit weird, but the exact steps that I told you before are shown right here. So let's go through it together. First thing we're doing is we're creating our effect or the object, or 3D object that we want to display. So creating the object. In this case, we're just spawning a basic cube. Then what we're doing is we're actually creating the camera game object. Right here, creating camera game object. Simple stuff, just seeing if we have this camera game object that we call fun in this case inside our scene, deleting it, and creating a new one and naming it fun. And now here comes the fun part. So first thing we do is we add a camera component to the camera object so that it starts behaving like a camera. Then what we're doing is we're taking the effect or displaying object that we want to display, 3D to 2D, and we're actually parenting it to the camera. So we're working with positions here. We're editing positions. Now, first, we're parenting it to the camera. So they move together, they rotate together. So if we move the camera very far away, the object still is in view. Then we're putting the local position in front of the camera. So we're going with the depth. So we're going set 5 pixels, 5 steps away, not pixels. We'll add that in a bit just to see the difference. But yeah. Then we're actually moving the camera very far away just for rendering stuff and everything in case it's turned off, so it doesn't start rendering or is not like inside the background of the while the player is working in 3D or whatever. And yeah, that's basically just we're adding the positions. And since we remove the camera itself and our actual effect is parented to the camera, it will move with it. So it will still be 5 Unity steps in front of it. Now, these are just specific tuning for the camera that we have to do. This is just some camera tuning that we have to do for the effect to work. So we're putting a depth of 2 and basically creating the flag to a solid color. And now here comes the really fun part. There's also some camera tuning, but it's a more controlled camera tuning. So the first step is to actually put the color that we want. Let's give it, in that case, black one. And then we have to create our texture. So the texture will be how many pixels wide and high, basically, the width and the length of the dimensions, basically, of the texture that we want to render. And then we're going to put as the target texture of our camera right here will be this camera texture. Then we have to turn on the camera so it starts behaving and actually displaying something. And now we have everything set up to actually create our in-game 3D object or 3D display on the 2D. Now to do that, since we have this camera target texture, we're going to take it, go to an image, let's go with find image in this case, go to the position of the level 5010, which is an actual tiles, level tiles, and then set the texture attribute to diso.camera target texture, which is this actual variable. Now if I apply this code, as you can see, we render the camera at position 5010 right here. The camera has a solid color of black, and texture is 200 pixel by 200 pixel in dimensions. Now, this seems fine and all, but let's make it a bit less, well, in the way of the black background. So a really cool thing is that we can create a clear background. So if I hit apply, then we can see that the cube is present. In the slide, this doesn't really look like a cube, so let me move it a bit. Maybe get it up by, maybe make it closer. So for that, we're going to change the local position to a 2. If I hit apply, the cube is getting closer. Now let me get it up like 2 UD steps. Too high. Let's get it down a bit. As you can see, it's like an actual 3D cube. Now, potential are limitless. Never forget, like, if the actual object gets out of the range of the camera, it will not be displayed anymore. Now, something else that can actually also be done, as an example, is let's recenter the cube, and then let's make it rotate. And when I hit apply, as you can see, our 3D cube is actually rotating. Now, how useful can this be? Well, first of all, you can create specific animations. So let me actually get the cube a bit further away. Let's say at 7. Hit apply. It's a very small one. Again, in the corner, now we have maybe a cool loading animations. You can really imagine the way we can also change the position of X, make it at 1010. If I hit apply, it's right here. Changing the camera render texture to be a bit smaller, just retuning it to have the cube be at the position we want it to be. Really, the options are limitless. You can really merge the 3D environment with the 2D environment to create specific really cool animations. You can even use effects, for example, creating 3D fire, 3D ambience, really work with the 3D engine to enhance really everything 2D in a very smooth, easy, and efficient and fast way. And of course, whenever you feel like it, if you think that everything seems a bit too advanced, too hard to understand, it's really simple. Just look at it, understand it. And if you have any question that you really want help with, just contact us on Discord. We'll be more than ready and more than willing to help you out, get you started